Welcome back to The Spread. It's been a couple of weeks and boy oh boy are things happening. First of all, Bakkt CEO Kelly Loeffler is now the designated successor to Senator Johnny Isakson of Georgia. Loeffler is the wife of ICE CEO Jeffrey Sprecher as well as a former ICE executive. ICE will be launching options trading on Bakkt's Bitcoin futures today, which might be the last time Loeffler is directly involved with a new product launch for ICE or Bakkt, at least for a while. As far as who's going to take over Bakkt with Loeffler occupied in the Senate, that remains to be seen. Now that Bakkt and ICE have futures and options, they're only missing forwards, which are actually swaps. If Bakkt had backed forwards, they would be backed physically backed forwards. I think I just made myself dizzy. Speaking of surprising transitions, what's up with the VIX lately? I take 1 week off for Thanksgiving. Everything was calm and cool. The VIX closes out each day around maybe, 14 points at most. Then bam! My second day back, Trump tells reporters in London that the trade talks might persist past the 2020 elections. The S&P trips on its own shoelaces and the VIX shoots up to almost 18 points for the first time since October. Reminds me of last year when the so-called Santa Claus rally didn't come through in December 2018 and everyone got coal for Christmas instead. In addition to options traders, other people are also having a down month. Eurodollar implied volatility reached 4.27% this week, which is the lowest it's been in over a year. The OCC's cleared volume for November was also down 9.6% compared to November 2018. Then the Minneapolis Grain Exchange, or MGEX, and MGEX announced that trading for Spikes futures on MGEX was being suspended. The reason? According to an update put out by MGEX on Friday the 6th, MGEX halted new trades because of a pending final resolution on Spikes futures between the CFTC and the SEC. It has a lot to do with a little thing called the 2004 CFTC-SEC Joint Order excluding indices comprised of certain index options from the definition of narrow-based security index pursuant to the Commodity Exchange Act and the Securities Exchange Act of 1934. Confused yet? Well, it comes down to this. If a product on MGEX is broad-based, the CFTC gets exclusive jurisdiction over trading with that product. If it isn't broad-based, the SEC and CFTC both have joint jurisdiction over the trading of futures contracts. If it isn't broad-based and there's no exemption, they're deemed securities and they have to be traded on a securities exchange, which MGEX is not. While futures trading is halted, the Minneapolis Exchange, MGEX, the CFTC, and the SEC will be busy figuring out who gets to regulate what and how. The solution to this mess is for the MGEX to become a securities futures exchange, or better yet, to petition the SEC for relief from the 2004 agreement. The SEC can't have intended to prohibit what doesn't exist yet, but one never knows with regulators. That's going to do it for this week. Thanks for joining me on The Spread. Happy trading.